couple of so-called ghost hunters laid traps all over the place. They insist that it's to catch spirits, haunting the mines. They don't leave soon. The only thing they'll be catching is my boot to their backside. Blackreach isn't for the faint of heart. When we first came down here, we lost people to animal attacks. That's gotten better, but now everyone's spooked about a few missing miners. Most don't realize it's not uncommon for workers to wander off. No, my wife Elle hired them. She said they'd ease people's minds, but the hawkers are only making things worse. You look capable. If you could expose them for the charlatans they are, Elle would kick them out. The spirit-chasing fools are down in the settlement, likely setting more traps for people to... Blackreach is a hard place. You spend any amount of time down there and you'll learn that quick. Unfortunately, some people forget that, and get in their heads to go exploring. That's usually the last we see of them. Wandered off and got eaten, more like. Either that or the darkness got to them. The isolation, the lack of sun. We've learned how to stay safe down here, but you can't protect people from everything. Especially not their own minds. Watch your back.
rather strapping, aren't you? If you're here about the traps, there's no need to worry. Claudina fixed them right up. She's really quite good at this. I can almost guarantee that they won't trip anyone else today. Spirits, of course. Ideally, the ones that have been terrorizing these poor people. My mentor and I have been given the important responsibility of investigating the mysterious disappearances down here. We're supernatural specialists of a sort. We're perilously close. Claudina has been doing this for years. She's practically an expert. I'm just her apprentice, but so far there hasn't been a case that we couldn't solve. Dusktown is in capable hands. Leave? But we're so close to figuring this out. If we just had a little more time, and maybe a set of extra hands? You look very clever. I'm sure if you joined us, we'd solve this in no time. Interested? Claudina would reward you, I'm sure. We identified a few spots with reported spiritual activity. Here, take Claudina's notes. The hope is that placing traps here will increase our chances of capturing an entity, and figuring out what happened to the missing miners. Exciting. I'm not sure. I used to try and guess the conclusions of our cases, but I was almost always wrong. Claudina says not to speculate too early. Each case is different and requires a different approach. I hope the missing people are safe at any rate. Oh, what a wonderful question. I won't bore you with the details, though they are fascinating. Essentially, these traps will magically weaken the spirit. Once it passes through the physical barrier, the warding spells render it unable to move. Absolutely! My very first case with Claudina, we captured a very powerful ghost with such a trap. I'll never forget. It burst forth from the wardrobe and I nearly died of fright. Thankfully, Claudina pushed me out of the way, just in time.
Phoebe convinced you to help us, did she? You have my thanks. But I hope you're prepared to work. This is a very serious responsibility.
What an exciting case! I simply must write down this new development.
Focus on the task at hand, Phoebe. There will be time for that later.
You're back! Did you have any trouble setting up the traps? Great work! You're a natural. Have you ever considered making this your life's work? It's really quite rewarding, and you certainly have the aptitude for it. Anyway, I'm sure Elle will be relieved to hear that they're all set up now. Elle Bitterblade, the head of Dusktown. She hired us, though she's been understandably doubtful since her husband, Overseer Earlvar, kicked us out of the mines earlier. Maybe you could help smooth things over by telling her the traps are set up? Oh, thank you so much. Claudina and I are good with the spirit side of things, but we struggle with people. If you talk to Elle and assure her that we're doing everything we can, she'd probably feel better. She should be right outside the mines. Well, remember what I said earlier about the traps? We had an incident with the mine foreman, but he wasn't in any danger. We freed his leg easily and got all the paint off. We think... Claudina, say more about your process. I want to capture everything in my notes.
Go bother someone else, Hawker. If I don't finish this by the end of my shift, the Overseer will have my hide. What do I look like? The town crier? If the Overseer wanted us to be observant, he wouldn't have blindfolded us when he brought us here. You weren't? Up to this point, the Overseer and his wife have been extra careful about keeping the exact location of this mine and the mining town a secret. What makes you special, I wonder? Well, I haven't seen anyone like that. Now pick up a shovel and help me or hork off. I can't afford to lose this job.
Grumar, please. There's no need for alarm.
But Captain Agaron is missing now. Who will protect us?
We don't need protection. We're perfectly safe.
You're wrong. There's something evil haunting this place, and we're its next victims.
I'm beginning to think hiring those ghost hunters was a mistake. I thought it would make everyone feel a little safer to know we were looking into it, but it's just made everything worse. Are you another one of that woman's assistants? Look, when I hired those two, they assured me that they had things well in hand. But we've got another person missing, and my people are scrambling over themselves in their fear. My town guard, Captain Agron. He was last seen at the administrative offices, but then he didn't show up for his posting. He just up and vanished, same as the others. Possibly, but I wouldn't have taken Captain Agaron for a deserter. If you're helping those ghost hunters, would you take a look in the offices? My people are scared. I'd like to have a working theory to give them, at least. Here, take my keys. They'll give you access. But please, keep your investigation out of the mines. After that incident this morning, Earlvar only wants workers down there. Best to keep everyone safe. At this point, I'm ready to believe it's all a grand joke being played at my expense. I don't know if it's just miners wandering off, or if it's malevolent spirits. But if this doesn't get figured out soon, my whole operation is going under. I started this venture with my husband. Supposing all of this chaos doesn't completely ruin us, our goal is to be the first to capitalize on Blackreach's frontier. A few days ago, I would have told you we were doing just that. Now, I'm not so sure.
This is the place, Claudina. The locals say Captain Agron disappeared from this very spot.
It's locked. We must find a way inside.
I am not unfamiliar with the more treacherous parts of Tamriel. Every place has its teeth and its sorrow. knows. My egg sisters and I explored many of these places during our travels. This one is no different.
Oh good, you're just in time. We've hit a wall in the investigation. How did it go with Elle? Oh, great! That's wonderful! Now we don't have to find another way inside. I keep telling Claudina you're a natural. You've just taken to all of this so splendidly. I'm thrilled you get to participate in the ceremony. I envy you, getting to experience it for the first time. Basically, if Captain Agron disappeared here, there might be some kind of spiritual residue left over from whatever took place. We need to conduct a ritual to try and harness it. Here, you take the spirit summoning whistle. When I spread the salts, you blow it. And if there are any spirits remaining in the area, the tone will force them out of hiding. It's a big responsibility, but I know you're ready for it. It varies by situation, but I've seen it work well over a dozen times. Some spirits find it more annoying than anything, but others are very susceptible to the sound. There are few supernatural beings that can ignore it, however. In here is powerful. Don't you think, Claudina? We're onto something. All right, here go the smelling salts. Get ready with the whistle. Do you hear that? It's coming from upstairs.
Slow down, Phoebe. Be vigilant, not hurried.
Did you see that basket move?
Phoebe, wait. What have I told you about jumping to conclusions? You'll have to forgive Phoebe. She's still young, and for all her scholarly knowledge, she's prone to startling at the slightest provocation. Did you find anything worthwhile? Let me see that. This is from Earlvar, the mine overseer. Could it be mere coincidence that the town guard investigating the mystery of the miners just happens to be the next to go missing? I think not. There is something amiss here. I have some idea. There's one just below, tucked away in the back of the town. Phoebe may be indisposed for the moment, so I'm counting on you to join me. Keep her whistle on you. We may need it.
What was all that screaming?
Oh, no worries here. All part of the process, I assure you.
My people are scared enough as it is, and these excessive displays are just making things worse. You all need to figure this out. At this point, I'm ready to believe it's all... I started this venture with my husband. Supposing all of this chaos doesn't completely...
Set me free.
Oh, about time somebody rescued me.
I'm certain these are the caves mentioned in the letter. Use the spirit whistle here. What was that? It came from inside.
Agaron, no! Gods, no! Captain Agaron, he's... dead. How can he be dead? This wasn't supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to happen. I don't know. I was supposed to meet Captain Agaron, but as I passed the caves, I heard a cry. I ran in to find him bleeding out. He died before I could ask what happened. Agaron was a fine man. He didn't deserve this fate. This is unacceptable. No, I didn't. You two need to leave. Stop investigating this. Gather your assistant, pack your things, and get out of Blackreach. This is getting far too dangerous, and I don't want to see anyone else get hurt. Please. We're wasting time. Just go!
We need to talk. I feel Overseer Erlvar knows more than he told us. The last thing we should do is heed his advice to quit now. That I do not know, but he seems to be increasingly agitated as we continue to investigate. I may deal in spirits more often than I deal with the living, but I know when I'm being led by the nose. He's hiding something. Let's find out what. Captain Agaron's wounds are fresh. Come, it can't have gone far. Look! Whatever killed Captain Agaron must have triggered one of our traps. There's footprints. Curious. Spirits don't use trap doors. Be one with the shadows. We cannot afford to be seen. A strange mist. Follow it. It's Erlvar. Stay low.
Broick, killing Captain Agran was not part of our deal.
I am a vampire, Erlvar. I have needs. I made that clear when you hired me.
I hired you to protect my people. This was not what we agreed. You've taken it too far.
Who are you to reprimand me? You haven't seen too far. Just wait.
It's all beginning to make sense. Overseer Erlvar employed a vampire to protect the mine. How dastardly. I believe that explains the missing miners quite succinctly. He must have given the vampire people in exchange for protection for the rest of his workers. But from what, I wonder? Not yet. Despite our ingenious detective work, right now it's still the Overseer's word against ours. And he's already given Elle reason to distrust us. What we need is definitive proof, then she'll have to listen. I believe the Overseer's office is just across the mine. We should investigate. Of course, we have to find a way in first. Perhaps you could pick the lock, or steal his key. I'm somewhat out of my element now. Excellent. You are truly the purveyor of justice Phoebe made you out to be. Just be careful. If we manage to get ourselves caught, we won't get the chance to prove anything.
Got to watch my step. The shadows will betray you down here.
I miss the sky. Working this hard and never seeing the sun can't be good for us.
Tired of living down here. I feel like I can't breathe.
Keep it up. Your hard work will be rewarded.
Blackreach has a strange stench to it.
I tried pocketing one of those crystals the other day.
Hands to yourself, thief!
What did you find? That look on your face. Tell me you found something. And explains what he was trying to protect his people from. It is not enough to simply turn this evidence over to El. I was hired to help this town. Spirits or no, I have a responsibility. We must stop this horror. The vampire seemed as though he was threatening Overseer Urvar at the end of their altercation. Perhaps he's planning some kind of retaliation. If so, there's a chance we could catch him in the act if we find him. We need to investigate the mines. There has to be a clue that will point us in the direction of that monster. Let's leave here. Dusktown needs us. This has to be the vampire's doing. I bet he didn't stop at one. Look for more. Vampire. Follow him, but stay out of sight.
I've seen enough spiders to last a lifetime down here.
The Gart is on its way, intruder.
Better get ready for a beating, runt.
What do you think happened to Horrell? It's too dark to even see what you're doing down here.
I wonder who will be next.
Curse him! We'll never be able to catch him like this. How do we apprehend a man who can vanish into thin air right before our eyes? Vampires do not obey the same laws as specters and ghosts. My tools would be useless against him. Unless... Phoebe's whistle. Do you still have it? It's designed to emit a tone that's unsavory to immortal creatures. Perhaps it will disturb him. It's impossible to say without evidence. But it wasn't made specifically with spirits in mind, so there is a chance. Go on, try it. This is the only plan we've got.
This place is full of nightmares. We never should have come down here.
My head!
There he goes. Follow him. More bodies. He's leaving a trail. She's not getting away.
You'll die like all the rest.
We have our proof. Let us return to Dusktown.
I bid you surrender! We have a common purpose, friend. You want the law to leave you alone, and I want your gold. Criminal? I see no criminal here.
This is ridiculous. You can't waltz in here and accuse me of such a thing.
My husband would never do something so insane. I don't suppose you have any proof.
Proof? What proof could they possibly have?
You and your associates accuse my husband of outrageous actions. Making deals with monsters? Murder? I hope you have a damn good reason. Let me see that. Donors? But I don't understand. You can't mean... Earlvar was feeding innocent miners to a vampire in order to keep everyone safe? How could this happen? How could I not have known? These were my people! The fact that he realized he was in over his head doesn't excuse the abhorrent decision in the first place. This is sickening. We both want to protect our people, but to think he'd resort to something so barbaric. You're right. We would have been left to wonder and kept losing people were it not for you and those two over there. Just tell me one thing. Did you kill the vampire responsible? Good. Good. At least there's that. Earlvar, you foolish man. What have you done?
Another case solved. Though we weren't dealing in spirits today, I have no doubt you'd make a fine ghost hunter. You have a natural talent for investigation. Elle has my sympathy. It is not easy to condemn someone you love. She's strong. She will be fine. Anyway, it was an honor to work with you. If you ever find yourself tangled in the world of spirits again, I do hope you'll seek us out. Here, take this for your time. You undoubtedly deserve it. You know, I think Phoebe looks up to you. You've become a point of inspiration for her. I know we both hope our paths cross again. Perhaps. I still sense dark energies here. This place writhes with uneasy spirits. Overseer Erlvar was the culprit this time, but with him removed, perhaps the true spiritual mysteries of Blackreach will unravel themselves. Happiness is not something I often associate with my line of work. Dealing with the dead is often a somber affair, but dealing with the living can be too, I suppose. I am merely satisfied with our end result.
I only did what I thought was necessary. I had no choice. We couldn't stop the attacks ourselves. We would have kept losing people if I hadn't made a deal with him. At least working with Bruick allowed me to control our losses. Losing one worker a week instead of 5 felt worth it. No. I thought I had him in the palm of my hand. I provided him with a steady supply of blood, and I mistakenly thought that meant he relied on our working arrangement. He showed me the error of my ways. Now I'm paying the price for it. I did what was needed. You should be thanking me.
Erlvar, you fool.
You must be new to Dusktown. You've still got that look. Well, get settled in. You won't be allowed topside again until you complete your contract. So you might as well get comfortable. A prisoner? No. Why would you think that? But we did sign a contract. Promised to stay until the work was done and never breathe a word. Otherwise, being a bonded miner with the Bitterblade Mining Consortium is a lucrative opportunity. Can't say that I have. And I haven't seen any ghosts or monsters either, come to think of it. Even though the rest of the town can't stop talking about them. Anyway, welcome aboard and good mining. Oh, don't let the rumors scare you. Miners are a superstitious lot. And being this far underground can play havoc with your senses. If you need to know anything else about Dusktown or working for the Bitterblade Mining Consortium, just ask. You mean those fools setting up their ghost traps? They're harmless. And if they make the superstitious miners feel better, I'm all right with that.
What a waste of time. These people have no clue as to what's going on down here. I wonder if being stupid was part of their service contract. Did you turn up anything? Just because no one saw him doesn't mean he wasn't here. Let's talk to Fen before we start turning this place inside out. Maybe he's had better luck. Right, skulking in the shadows. Lead the way. I'm right behind you.
All this time, the Overseer was working with a vampire. I knew there was something unpleasant about him.
All those people disappeared and the Overseer was behind it all along? That's terrible.
over here!
You're just in time. I spotted the vampire with the eye patch. We met with the Coven Witch, who immediately ordered her lackeys to place witch pikes around the area. With arcane phenomena, anything's possible. If we hurry, we can stop this Harrowstone before it causes any damage. You and Lyris should split up. We need to destroy all of the witch pikes. I'll track the Queen's assassin and the Coven Witch. You focus on stopping the Harrowstorm. I'll find you after that, and we'll confront the vampire and the witch together.
Move. You take the east side, I'll take the west. Then meet in the middle.
You stopped the Harrowstone before it could even get... Well done, my friend. Before the witch could even begin her ritual, I saw the magicka disappear like the flame of a snuffed candle. The witch and the vampire assassin fled to Coggentham's, a dwarven ruin. We can deal with them in there. Time is of the essence. You get to the ruin, I'll find Lyris, and we'll meet you there. It's southeast of Dusktown. If you get there before us, go inside and guard the entrance until we arrive.
hold on. 27 geode crates, 15 pickaxes, 5 wheelbarrows, 42 fresh tourniquets. Okay, yeah, there's a lot to do, so I don't have much time. What is it? Corpse, eh? Well, call me not surprised. He never was any good at this. Always came off like he was better than us working folk. But the only thing he was good at was slacking. All right, I'll pay you for his samples. Yeah, so what? He was going to die sooner or later. I didn't make him take the job, so him being dumb don't make me guilty. Just give me my samples and move along. Judging by this bag, it looks like he died for nothing. Figures. Now I got to find a miner who actually knows how to prospect. Well, I said I'd pay you, so here you are. Walk off, pal. No time for useless chatter. Oh, boo-hoo. Mining is expensive and hard. It's even harder down here. Miners only survive when they're tough. How about you take your friendly and move along?
We're here. Let's find this assassin.
Careful. I sense the presence of other vampires. Arrow fiends. Not the result of the ritual we stopped. So they must have brought them from someplace else.
the assassin. Chase?
Long enough. Sister Sada shall revive the exarchs.
For Queen Gerhild, you bastard.
Now we need to find Sister Thada. You listen in. I'll unlock the door.
Rise, Exarch, and be reborn!
The Ashen Lord
Where
commands
is
it.
this place?
And so we live once more, Orfra.
Alive again? How?
You have the Ice Reach Coven to thank for that, werewolf.
Using my recipes, witch.
I meant no disrespect to Exarch Singalis.
We're being watched, brother.
Next time, Tharda, the Ashen Lord, will expect more than the restoration of a single reliquary. Now deal with the intruders, or I'll toss you to the Harrow Fiends.
Come out, little skeevers. Come out and play with Sister Tharda.
How many of your sisters am I gonna have to kill before you give up?
My dear sisters, our vengeance will plague you beyond the grave.
For the pyre. Let's go after the other two.
You saw it too, right? That werewolf shed that statue like a snake sheds its skin. Was she inside that stone husk the whole time, waiting to be awakened? Or did the ritual somehow summon her into that vessel? There's a lot I still don't understand. A ritual, obviously. Remember the altar at Kilcreath? We found the urn, the reliquary, and shards from a large stone vessel. I think they were the remains of one of those stone husks. I'm not sure how, but it all ties back to the Harrowstorms. I thought the purpose of the Harrowstorms were to create Harrow Fiends. Now I think that's only a byproduct. The storm somehow gathered energy that the witch used to summon Ulfra the werewolf. Ulfra seems to think she was brought back to life. I've come to the conclusion that anything is possible where magic is concerned. I'm going to look around with Lyris, then return to Old Mjolnir to finish studying the witchpike residue. Maybe that will help me understand how the ritual works. Theoretically, using my knowledge of alchemy and Old Mjolnir's understanding of reach magic, we should be able to figure something out once we know what components were used in the ritual. I don't know of any Ashen Lord, but Exarch. I came across the term after the incident at the mass grave in Bankurai. It's a rank used by the ancient army. Its members were buried in that unhallowed grave, and their remains were smuggled here. The Grey Host. It was an army of vampires and werewolves that rampaged across Hammerfell during the First Era. There aren't a lot of records remaining, and even the burial site was a closely held secret. Exarch was a rank, like General, I suppose. I don't know. But that's the impression I got from the witch's conversation with the Exarchs. I wish I knew more about this Sengalis and Ulfra, though. And the Ashen Lord, for that matter. That's why I want to check the ritual site.
Damn it! The vampire and the werewolf are long gone. They called themselves Sengalis and Ulfra. And they had an unusual rank or title, Exarch. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I heard. No idea who or what that is, though. Maybe Fen can make sense of what we saw down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna head back inside. I want to get a better look at those stone husks that were left behind. While Fen and I examine that ritual site more closely, you should return to Solitude and inform Svanna that her mother's assassin has been taken care of. She'd want to know. More than that, she deserves to know. I left Svanna back at the Lonely Troll under the care of that drunken orc Mog. Unless he ignored my rather stern warnings, he should be keeping the princess there. I'll meet you back in the city once we finish here. Anything that tells us more about what the Coven and its allies are trying to accomplish. Maybe something about this Ashen Lord. I'd even settle for a clue that points us to any other strongholds they have down here. We need something more to go on.
Lord, Mother, and Wizard! What is wrong with this place? You don't look like you're keen to slit my throat, which is a vast improvement from my recent company. Keep your guard up. Something strange is going on around here. And if Raynor and I got hired by the local mining consortium to investigate this dwarven vault, Karst. Raynor jumped on it. Said something about this place unlocking secrets about dwarven tonal architecture. But it's more trouble than it's worth. Everything here is off. Tremors, strange creatures, crazed people, and things that shouldn't even be down here. I told Raynor we needed to turn back, but he ran inside while I was fighting off the worst of them. Think you could go and check on him? Thanks. There's no telling what's in there, and knowing Raynor... Evidence of our problem. There's a group of looters trying to lay claim to this place, probably from that mining town nearby. They were easy enough to get rid of. It's the other things giving me trouble. Strange creatures that don't belong. They jumped us at the door, but it was odd. It was almost like they just winked into existence. There were bright flashes... Karst. It's a mouthful, right? I sometimes wonder if the real reason the dwarves are all gone is because they choked and swallowed their tongues trying to say their own names.
The guild has need of you, comrade. Well met, comrade. I have an urgent message from the guildmaster. Report to me at once. I have a task for you. She's a lizard of few words. She's running things out of the guild hall in Volkelgard at the moment. The Eight guide you, comrade. No, but I have an idea. Word in the hall is that there's a big contract. A huge contract. All hands on deck. She probably wants you in the fight.
Pretty one with the beard. What is it?
Finally. Waiting in a tavern without a drink is maddening. How do other people do it? And Mog hasn't been helpful. His solution to every problem involves a great amount of alcohol. What news of the bastard who murdered my mother? Did you find him? I would have preferred to see him dragged back here for a proper trial and execution. But at least justice has been served. Were you able to determine who was behind the murder? Was it connected to the threat you came to warn my father about? Damn those Reach witches! And damn my father for being so obstinate! But what does the Coven want? Are they planning to kill my father? What else can you tell me about this threat to our kingdom? That's horrible. But there must be more to this than simply turning my people into monsters. Well, I'll do what I can to help you. Mother would have wanted me to. What you've done and discovered will be enough to convince my father. It has to be. You and Lyris risked your lives for my kingdom and have been met with nothing but suspicion. You counted on my mother to be your advocate, to convince my father of the Coven's threat. Now she's gone. I'm no substitute, but I'll speak for you. My father hasn't heard a word I've said since I was old enough to talk. But with Mother gone, someone has to make him see reason. You know, she tried to teach me, but I never listened. I guess maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. That makes it even more imperative that he heeds your warning and takes action. All of the holds are in danger. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, Karthald. My father needs to do something before another storm strikes. Meet me at the Blue Palace, all right? I just need a moment to think about how to approach this. Consider the words to use. My courtly manners are a bit rusty, and I've never been much for diplomacy and fancy speeches. Shore's bones, I could use a drink. I'm not sure of anything. If I don't do this, though, I'll never forgive myself if something terrible befalls the kingdom. Right. Easy as honey-baked pie. It's not like you came here at the behest of his most hated rival or anything. Look, I'll do my best to get him to listen. You have my word on that. Wish me luck, Mog.
Forget luck. I suggest a slug of Kindle Pitch whiskey. You'll need it.
You haven't. Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. You have... Excellent. Hope the room is to your liking. With your...
Wasting time is an important part of life.